Royal Dutch Shell plc is a United Kingdom-based oil and gas giant.
So the history of this one is in fact that they were founded and put together in 1907. The Royal Dutch, of course, is a Dutch company, and the Shell Transport and Trading was a UK-based company, also with operations all around the world. And I think people are very familiar with the Shell brand. It's a global giant with regard to its retail presence as well.
Market cap here, we're sitting at $203 billion, a PE of 13.8 and a dividend yield of 5.9%. I suppose the question is, how does Shell stack up against ExxonMobil?
Well, it's the largest company on the London Stock Exchange, so $200 billion, which interestingly, we were talking about companies of that scale in recent days on HOTSTOCKS like Alibaba and Amazon and the likes. That's the sizable
operation. The stocks
operation.
that you favor from a tech perspective.
Well, it's interesting that a company as new and as seemingly ephemeral as, say, Amazon has got the same market cap as one of the oil super majors. But it's also interesting, Royal Dutch Shell currently, because it's about to, or in the midst of, or trying to engineer a takeover to the tune of $70 billion of a rival company called BG Group. It's the old British Gas, which has been a substantial player on a global basis in the LNG, which is liquefied petroleum gas.
Will that push it above ExxonMobil?
Exactly. So we would not see it getting that much larger. It's going to be a scrip-based acquisition, but certainly it would add to its 200, taking it to about 270. So still about $100 billion smaller than Exxon, but it certainly would propel them up the league tables. Perfect. There we go. So you can see that the proposed deal hasn't really done anything to the share price, but it will change the mix. So Shell, which has got oil production activities in the Gulf of Mexico, in Trinidad and Tobago,
would competition
all over
authorities not have an issue with this tie-up?
Not really, because remember what I said earlier, even the largest player in the world has only got like a 3% market share when it comes to oil production and expansion. There may be some issues with regard to petrol stations, but I doubt that.
So there's
very
no
much.
market domination by any means here?
No, and really their biggest problem is that the global market is dominated by national oil companies that have substantial access to capital and pricing power, like the Saudi Aramco company, like the Russian producers like Rosneft and Yukos and so on. So it's not really an issue. To be honest, they've got to get as big as they can. And one of the ways for the likes of Royal Dutch Shell to increase its reserves is, instead of going out and building and capitalizing new operations, they can go and make a bid for the likes of BG Group, bring them on board, look for capital efficiencies.
As you say, though, that hasn't translated in a rally in the share price. Do you think the market anticipates that this won't happen?
No, I think the deal probably will happen. I think the fact of the matter is that share price chart, as we saw earlier, is following the crude oil price.
Hot or not?
I'm going to go with not hot as well. It's an interesting transaction. It's an interesting transition. They may squeeze some benefits out of it, but being as it's the world's largest, biggest company in London, chances are the market has the right value for this one. And on account of my concerns about the oil price, I'm going to go with not hot on this one as well.